Hello, everybody. Stan here from Broken Neck Radio. I'm here with Hamilton, Ontario's very own Killotine. They are one of the finalists in the Wacken Metal Battle. Guys, introduce yourselves and introduce yourselves.
All right. I'm Matt Fraser, rhythm guitar and lead vocals.
I'm James McNeil, bass guitar and backup vocals.
I'm Jess Luciani, lead guitar. And then missing right now is our drummer, James Beck.
Okay, awesome. Well, congrats, guys, on making it to the national finals. How does it feel to represent Hamilton on a national stage like the Rickshaw Theatre for the Wacken Metal Battle Canada?
Incredible.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it's super sweet. As someone who's lived in Hamilton his whole life and seen shows in the city, it's pretty awesome to carry the flag. I mean, it feels badass.
That's pretty sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, what does the opportunity to play Wacken Open Air mean to Killotine as a band, and of course, you guys individually?
I mean, it would be an incredible thing for me. Like growing up listening to metal, I kind of grew up in that like just before internet time. Like I got the internet, I think when I was like 19 or 20. So there was a lot of years of like having to use the radio or TV to try to find music. And anybody that's gone through that knows it was really hard to find metal. It was on at like 2 a.m. on Much Music, and then it was half
I
hour.
remember that.
Yeah, Much Loud.
Yeah.
And then
It
you'd
was
be
awesome.
like, yeah, but then it would be like, oh, they're gonna play Blind Guardian today, and then it would be like a cover of Mr. Sandman, and you're like, like that's So with Wacken, it was always one of those things where you'd see the tour posters, and a buddy of mine would send it to me all the time. You'd see the posters with, Blind Guardian, Sonata Arctica, Iron Maiden, Judas, but like these just legendary bands. So for me individually, getting to play there, getting to go there, which has always been a bucket list thing, but then getting to play there would just be unbelievable. Like, I
Yes,
borderline religious experience, I think.
yeah, same deal. I mean, similar thing to Jess. Like when I was young and searching for metal, it was still hard to find, and so playing Wacken, like the inner 13-year-old, 14-year-old in me who discovered metal and thought it was the most badass thing on the planet, still do, but the inner 14-year-old in me is like fucking screaming.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, just wants to get up there and do it. Yeah, it's awesome. It is like coming full circle, right? Because as a kid, it's something we all looked up to. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal all their answers. My high school self. Well, when the Headbangers Journey documentary
Hmm.
came out, and we all learned about the Wacken Open Air Festival in Germany, of course, every kid went, "Oh, one day we're gonna go there. We're gonna blow a bunch of money. We're gonna, you know, find a tent somewhere in one of those fields, and we're gonna just be stinky and watch heavy metal concerts all day."
Yeah.
And if I were to go back in time, like, hey, you might have the opportunity to be on one of those stages. Like, I'd tell myself to go kick rocks. You're lying, and here we are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
It,
kidding.
it's quite
It's
unbelievable.
crazy. I mean, we're sure we all had that fantasy scenario in our heads when we were kids, like getting up on stage. You're in your bedroom, you got your guitar, and you're pretending you're on stage.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's
Yeah,
it's surreal. It's crazy.
it's wild.
Yeah.
But even the fact that we've gotten this far, it's intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you guys have made it through the rounds. How has the Wacken Metal Battle Canada experience shaped you as a unit?
Oh.
It's definitely made us up our A game. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because we're not just jamming, going to a venue thinking, there's probably going to be like 10 people we know and the other bands and family members. It's much more of a bigger game now that we're playing.
Yeah, it's like it was the kick in the pants that
Oh yeah.
that glued the band together and
Yeah.
made it.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like we were getting together and playing music and stuff, and we were having fun and we were doing writing and stuff like that. But when this came along, it was like it was kind of like get serious moment in a good way,
Hmm.
like a get serious moment in a good way where we all started doing the best we could because we had this thing on the horizon that is so great and can still has possibility to be even better. So we all just put 100% in, which brought us together as a band, as individual musicians. It just it homed us. It was like the thing to aim for, which made us, you know, sharp.
We're definitely pushing the steel heavier against the grinding stone now. Absolutely.
Good. Yes, that's what we like to hear.
Yeah,
Now,
oh, sorry.
no, you go
I was,
ahead.
I was gonna say that like with a lot of the shows and stuff you play, it's you know it's not the same pressure as soon as you call something a battle of the bands, it just puts a pressure on there. And so I remember even at the Toronto one was kind of like, okay, like this, like it was at the Rivoli, which is a historic venue, and there was a ton of people there. And then every band that was playing, I think we were on third, and the two bands before us, it was just like, okay, like everybody's killer. And so having to get up on stage, and then we opened with, it was a new one we opened with that I don't know that we had played at another show yet. So we all got through it, played the new song really well and stuff. To me, that was just like a big moment together as a band to be like, yeah, we went up there, huge nerves, obviously. And then we're able to just like enjoy playing that together and like, you know, having a kick-ass time with it. And to me, that was just like after that gig, it was like, oh, all the other ones are going to feel so easy now. Like every show is going to feel like, so like,
And then when we won that particular gig, which I don't think any of us expected, it was kind of almost like justification, because none of us are up our own butts. We're not walking around like we are the greatest and all stuff like that. But when someone else, like, you know, we try our best and stuff like that. But when someone else took notice in a serious way, it was kind of like, oh yeah, we got something here. We are Killotine and we are kick-ass. Yeah.
Now, what can the fans expect from Killotine's performance in the finals, and are you guys throwing anything new or unexpected?
Maybe. Maybe. I have maybe an inkling that there might be something new. Maybe, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we had a new one for the Toronto one, as Jesse was saying. So maybe it's just good luck to have a new one in the next part of the battle.
Excellent. So now, here's a great one of my favorite questions. What do you think gives Killotine the edge to be Canada's choice to play Wacken in Germany?
Our raw sex appeal.
I think rawness has something to do with it, though, to be honest. I think we stand out because we have that thrash rawness, and to say we're not polished might sound like an insult or something, or like we're sloppy, which is not the case. We're awesome, but we have an intensity that I think is a part of an older style of metal that maybe people are wanting to see again. They want to see that like almost street dirt back in metal, where it isn't totally clean anymore. It's raw and it can rip your head off. It's unexpected and it's played by people. You know, each of us is playing our instrument to the best of our abilities. None of us is falling back on anything digital or not real, you know, or anything like that. So it's got that rawness that I respond to in basically all types of music. But in metal, for me, it's essential. Got to have that raw dirt.
Nice. Now, Killotine is a pretty badass name. Now, what's the story behind the name, and what does it symbolize for the band?
Oh, geez. Well, I could kind of take that question, I think. Yeah, when it was finally something more than just a couple guys in a room just playing random songs, we finally did have to choose a name. And I had a list of ideas, and some of them were good, don't get me wrong, but they just weren't fitting. Like they were like either like something they would meant for like a black metal band or a death metal band. They were really brutal and disgusting or whatnot, and it just really wasn't fitting. And I had this one little idea that was just a joke, and which would play on words of guillotine. It was Killotine. I'm like, it's a guillotine, but it kills you more. And we all had a good laugh. Yeah. And then we went, okay, let's go farther down the list. And I guess we were just still giggling about it like schoolgirls after one practice. And I got a message from our drummer, James, who's not here right now. And he was like, so Killotine, eh? And that was it. That finalized it.
And I think the fact that it was kind of funny and it started as a joke also ties into the last question. It represents another part of our music, which is we're fun.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
we are a fun band, you know, like um we didn't want a name that was, for lack of I guess better description, overly serious and like, I don't know, kind of setting it up to be like you have to be serious to listen to this music and you got to be a certain this, like, no, we're playing guitars and drums, like we're having fun.
Yeah,
We want you to have fun. When you hear our name, think fun, metal, energy. Let's do it. Like,
Yeah. I'm screaming through the microphone that I'm gonna like crack people's skulls open, but I'm not really gonna do that unless you really piss me off.
he's
But,
really
yeah.
a nice guy, I promise.
I wouldn't go that far.
So you're at a
That's all.
you're at a gig, and someone who's never heard your band before says, obviously asks you, "Are you in a band?" And you're going to tell them, "Yes, I'm in the band Killotine." How would you describe to them your sound?
I think I think it reflects the raw industrial quality of,
Oh, yeah, where's our
of
bio?
this
Yeah, where's our bio? We better read
of
it.
Hamilton.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very gritty, very raw, high distortion, high gain, fast, in your face, aggressive.
And fun.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So which bands or styles have influenced your music, and how does that come across in your live shows?
Oof.
This is kind of a fun part about this band. I think we've all kind of played in a lot of bands in a lot of different situations. But one thing that really, like, I was the last one to join. I almost like I heard the name Killotine and I was like, I gotta get in this. Like before I showed up, I was like, I hope, like, I was gonna be in before I heard them. I thought, like, thankfully they were good.
We could have sucked.
I still would have joined for a bit,
Oh man.
but one of the things I noticed was everybody everybody loves metal, but then in different way, like not in different ways, but like seems to have a different like preference for metal. Like I love like power metal and a lot of like the progressive metal and stuff like that. And like I still like, I mean, I love, you know, Megadeth and Metallica and Maiden and all that stuff, but like I seem to like go more towards the like the Blind Guardian, the Ed Guy, Symphony X, stuff like that. But then I found like with everybody else, they kind of also had a different approach to metal, and I find that really comes together, especially with our writing and that it's like we're drawing from a lot of different ideas because like James is into like
I like the bluesy stoner stuff that's spread out from Black Sabbath. I like the Drive and Motorhead stuff. You know, the really blues based metal that is, you know, a little bit of an older style, I guess.
And then I play like a savage barbarian. A lot of my heroes were like guys like Kerry King from Slayer, James Hetfield from Metallica, and Mustaine from Megadeth. Like just like the intricacies of Megadeth plus the barbaric playing of like Slayer and Metallica. Like, I don't know, what gets my rocks off, man.
Yeah, and our drummer, I think, is a really good representation of what I would consider like 21st century metal. He's like loves all, well, not all of them, but he's really into the modern stuff, and he keeps us updated on like what the current metal thing is, because he's always bringing new stuff in. It's cool to see our drummer come in. He's got, you know, brand new stuff. Sometimes we're drawing on records that have been around for 40 years. Here.
Yeah.
And then James will come with something contemporary, and which is always good to hear, because we're getting this well-rounded, heavy sound coming from a lot of directions.
And even though we all kind of have where our hearts lie, we all appreciate where all of our ideas are coming into the center where we make Killotine.
Now, what role has the Hamilton metal scene played in your evolution as a band?
It's been a pretty big one. Like it seems to be like they really welcomed us with open arms. Like everybody there has just been great. Like any of the shows we've done, like it's just been fun. Like everybody just kind of hangs out and then we play a show, and so it's been a great time, and we've been invited onto some really cool shows. Like we did Teeth the Season with Lover Teeth in winter last year, and that was like this big kind of charity event. I forget how many bands.
Oh, there was
I
like
want to say it was like 14 or something. It was
Yeah,
like a
it was
whole
silly.
day. Yeah, I think
But
it
it
started
was
like
great.
2 p.m. We played around like 1:30 or something in the like a.m.
And we went way too long.
Sorry, Cheyenne.
Yeah, I think when Carl, the guy who was running the whole show, came over to me and whispered in my ear like, "Hey, can you say last call into the mic?" I'm like, "Why?" And then I look over at the clock and it's 20 past 2. I'm like, "Oh no!"
They told us to keep playing, but yeah, it just that's that I don't know. That's been my experience. It's just like
Oh, it's great. Everybody has a blast.
Yeah, it just seems to be a really fun scene to be a part of.
If you're a metal band who's not from Hamilton, Hamilton has a great scene. Come check us out. Give us a call. You might get a show with us. Play in Hamilton. It's a great place to show your metal off to the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Now, piggybacking off of the previous question about the bands, now, what are some of your biggest influences from Canada or globally in terms of writing? We already talked about performance, but especially for writing and intensity within your performances.
Oh, wow. I mean, there's kind of a running joke in the band that no matter what the question is about influence, I'm just going to say Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath.
It works in almost every situation. Who's your biggest bass influence? Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath. Who do you like? Heavy music? Black Sabbath. Who's your favorite albums? Black Sabbath. In terms of Canadians, there is a contemporary high energy rock band called King Kong and Barbecue. They were a duo, and they were just wild, like insane shows. And energy-wise, I desperately wanted to try and project that much energy when I play, because no matter what they're doing, and they don't even play heavy metal, they play like kind of dancey rock and roll. But they're two guys from Montreal, and when they play, people have fun, people go crazy, and the energy they push across the room is bananas. So I always wanted to try and capture that and rip them off at any opportunity. I mean, influence. Influence.
Oh, geez, whose turn is it to talk now?
Go for it.
Oh God. Back to influences. Oh good. Oh man. I mean, for Canadians, first thing that comes to mind is a Canadian thrash metal band, Annihilator. That would definitely have to be my favorite Canadian metal band. Absolutely. Like they're pretty intricate and they're all over the place when it comes to what they do. Like some of they even have some softer tunes, which I wouldn't expect from a thrash metal band, and I still appreciate as well. But yeah, like my heart lies with anything heavy, aggressive, and in your face, because that's just kind of my attitude and personality as well. Even when I'm writing like just about anything, like a lot of the stuff that I write is usually just I was mad one day, or I had a bad day at work, or a little old lady cut me off in traffic. I don't. Then I make a little note of it in my phone, and when I'm bored, I elaborate, and there we go. We got the next song.
Speaking of the Hamilton thing, like he works in the Hamilton steel mills. Like he's like couldn't be more in the heart of Hamilton for that stuff. So when he's talking about like a bad day at work or whatever influencing him or anything like that, like doesn't get more Hamilton than that. And then I gotta. So I'm the one in the band that's not the Hamiltonian, even though I did live there for a few years, went to school there. Actually did, I would say a lot of my musical development was in Hamilton through Mohawk College, which the music department shut down. Won't go on that rant. And then there was this thing, Guitar Hamilton, that was all classical guitar. And one of my guitar teachers, Emma Rush, ran it and would bring in these like world-renowned performers and stuff. And I'd get to see these concerts in Hamilton for $5. It was unbelievable. So I did a lot of like listening and really expanding myself musically there, like outside of just listening to Brave New World by Maiden as in every single day. Like that kind of helped me expand on that. And then I'm gonna cop out with the Canadian one and go Rush, because I'm from St. Catharines. So that's where Neil Peart's from. And I love my prog rock. So That's always I'm always trying to like sneak it in our writing stuff. Like there definitely was. It didn't make the cut, but I definitely tried to get a King Crimson ending in one of our songs from Lament. I tried hard. It made it through like one practice, and then it was like the next one. It was like I think it's actually gonna sound better if we end like this. And I was like, yeah, they're right, but. Next song we'll end it like King Crimson do.
Now we've got some of your tracks in rotations now, which is great. Now, are there any plans for any new releases this year? EP, singles, videos?
Big time. We've got a lot of we've sort of got a lot up in the air right now in terms of we've been writing, and it seems like every time we're getting together, just ideas are starting to just go, like they're just coming out all over the place, to the point where we had to make a separate group chat on Messenger that's just like audio files of stuff we're working on, so we don't have to like scroll through all this stuff. So we've got a lot. We've got 2 songs that are completely like they're basically done, but they're in the unreleased, unrecorded pile. And then we've got a billion more things in the works writing wise, and then recording wise, we are just kind of coming up with our strategy on how to go about that in 2025, because I'm like an old person, so it's like I should release an album, and then you know all okay, you make a CD, and then you burn it at home and give it out. But yeah, so just trying to figure out kind of how to navigate that side of things, and I think we're pretty much decided on how to go, but nothing like announcing like, oh, June whatever we're releasing. But yeah, there's a lot of I guess momentum going on with things like that. Group chat's constantly going. I'm sure the drummer James right now is got a bunch of messages unread since we've started talking here about stuff. So yeah, there's lots going on, but yeah, not we don't have a date to give you on anything.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, this is another good question I love. What's your dream lineup for a tour, and where would you like to play beyond Canada and Germany should you win the final?
Oh man.
Okay, wow, that's insane. It's a tough one because the dream lineup for me would be to open for King Gizzard right now and the Lizard Wizard, although their shows are so all-encompassing that opening for them is quite a task because they're so insane. Other places I want to play, Japan. Germany, amazing. I'd love to do the rest of Europe, obviously, but Japan is a big one on my bucket list because it's cool.
I was supposed to go to Japan within the last year, but it's the trip didn't work out. But I was like learning Japanese. Yeah, that would be a crazy one. Anywhere Europe would really be pretty awesome. I really like England. My wife's medieval art historian, and we did like I went with her on a research trip, and she just kind of flew into the northern point and drove and B&B'd up to the top while she was like looking at all these cathedrals and stuff. And so something like that would be pretty wild. And I'm so used to the size of Canada, where it's like you want to drive this far on the map, it's 27 hours, but like in England it was like 2 hours and we're on the other side. So that would be really cool. Yeah.
Sheesh. Outside of Canada, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to steal an answer again. Yeah, just Europe, because obviously they got a big metal scene there too.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And there's a lot of lower, I wouldn't say lower, but not as well known festivals that are, but unless you're really seriously in the metal scene, you will know about them. But yeah, you're right. There's a whole lot there. I mean, you could even do that little tour if you get, and then, you've already got now on it, Ontario finalist for the Wacken Metal Battle Canada. I mean, that's now something that you can add on your socials in your about section, right? Like that's your title. Yeah. Like, you can use that as well.
Crazy we have a title.
Now
it is pretty surreal.
If you win and head to Wacken Open Air, what's the first thing you will do once you hit German soil?
Drink.
I was told by a good friend of mine, a German friend of mine, that I haven't tasted beer until I've gone to Germany and had it. So
it depends. I don't know where exactly in Germany Wacken is. If it's anywhere near Berlin, my first stop will be the Ramones Museum /bar. where I will get hammered and talk about the Ramones.
There are a couple places that you fly into and then you bus to Wacken, and I believe Berlin Airport is one of them when I was looking it
Yeah,
up.
that's on my bucket list. The Ramones Museum, which is basically just a bar covered in Ramones memorabilia. And anybody who plays fast music, Ramones. All right?
That's true. Very true.
You gotta do your research.
Now, the other one I was going to ask is, so you guys are now coming up to the finals on the 31st. What would you say? Now you're in a different position now. So what would you say to a young Canadian metal band thinking about entering the next Wacken Metal Battle Canada?
Oh, absolutely do it. Like, it was super easy to fill out those forms. Like, it was, like I knew like our names and stuff. Like, it wasn't that. But do it, and then which is the big one, because that's a big one. A lot of artists struggle with is the like actually pulling the trigger on what they should be doing. So it's one of those like, just do that first off. But the other thing is when you're rehearsing, remember what you're rehearsing and pretend you're playing the show. Like, don't just use rehearsal as a time to like, you know, get hammered and play some tunes, or like play the show. And remember, like, when you're on stage, and like, I know for me, like, you know, I was a little, especially in the Toronto one, a little extra anxious. All the rehearsing we did was like, it just pushes that down. So then you know, you've gone through this. And like when we rehearsed for those ones, I know this isn't the most like, you know, it's like a behind the scenes kind of answer type of thing, but like we had a timer going, we were rehearsing all of it, like every aspect. Like the songs would end and we weren't like, oh cool, hey, what are you up to later today? Like it was like songs would end and he'd be like, all right, I can't hear you, we're
practicing the banter.
No, that's good.
Yeah, rehearsing the show basically. And I would say do that.
I think that's the key some people miss, is that you are putting on a show, and you play it like a show. You don't play it like a stoic guy staring at his feet. You know, go up there and play a show, own your music, and have fun.
Yeah. And that's a tricky thing to do. Like, by default, I want to stand and stare at my guitar. Like, that's how I want to play. When I practice, I'm in here with the footrest staring at my guitar. And it's like, don't do that on stage, especially if you're like a fast thrash band. Like, if you're in a band where you can get away with it, go for it. But like, yeah, the show part of it. Like, go have fun.
There is movement when you're in a thrash band.
And don't worry about the like, oh, every note's got to be placed perfect. Like, go up there and think of what is the energy behind the music that we're doing. Are we hitting that? The notes, hopefully I get them all. But it's like, is this making, like, am I getting the little goosebumps? Is my heart pounding playing this? Like, that's what I'm kind of, that's what I would say to kind of focus on, like that side of it.
And the like Jesse said, the more you rehearse it as a show, the more that will become natural, because you won't be thinking about the logistics of what you're actually playing. You'll just be playing it because you've rehearsed it 100 times. You'll be in the moment, and it'll be gravy. You'll be having the best time of your life. Yeah, you know.
What's a non-metal artist or album that fans would be surprised to know you enjoy?
I love Paramore. Like After Laughter by Paramore is probably a top 5 album for me.
I mean, I like pretty much music in every genre. Roger Miller, he's a country western songwriter, and he's one of the best songwriters of all time, and his music oozes fun. And I keep saying fun, but I don't like music that isn't fun. I just don't. So Roger Miller, I think people would be unexpected. That would be an unexpected one, yeah.
For me, Supertramp. Love Supertramp. I don't know. It's one of the oddballs out of the plethora of music I listen to.
I know James Beck, our drummer, likes the Osmond Brothers. That's true. That's true.
So this is another interesting one. Worst gig experience.
Uh-oh. I don't think we're allowed to say that.
As Killotine, or in general?
In general.
In general, I used to do a lot of strumming and singing. And one time I wouldn't let this hammered guy come up and sing. He wanted to sing Bruce Springsteen, but like it was like he was like like moving like he was like gonna fall over. And it's at this like bar I used to play at all the time, and it's like you just can't have a guy up there like I don't know what he's gonna fall and break all my stuff. And he just kept bugging me and just kept bugging me. You could just tell he was too drunk. And so then he comes up to me at one point and he just looks at me right in the eyes and he goes, "We could have been great." And then he turns his back to me and just stands there. And I'm like, that's a weird, kind of funny thing, but weird thing to say. And I'm playing a song, and then he leaves. And within 5 seconds of him leaving, I realized he just did the biggest fart he could have done and then left. And I was just stuck in it. And I had to stop the song. And it was too funny at the time, though, because I was like, that was the best. I've got no comeback for that. And me and the entire front area of this bar just had to sit in this, like, terrible bar food and too many beers fart forever. Yeah, it was bad. It was dense. But yeah, that's probably my worst gig experience was getting farted on.
I played with a different band. I played outdoors under a tent during tornado conditions because it was so hot and so windy and so humid that there were tornado warnings all over the place. The tent we were under got ripped out of the ground in the middle of our set and started blowing away. So we immediately put our guitars down and we had to grab this tent and help people bolt it back into the ground. Oh, and that's on top of playing outside where everything's out of tune every second.
That's a different type of wind problem.
Yeah, that was I just like that. Well, nothing like horrible happened, but I remember getting off and being like, "That was tough. That was tough, buddy."
Man, I can't beat that at all. Like I'm pretty boring, and I'm also pretty lucky with gigs that I've gotten. Like the worst gig I can think of was probably like way back in like the high school days where it was just run by kids for kids, where nobody knew what we were doing. Where sound guy's like 16 years old and he just cranks up the volume and nobody can hear anything. Yeah, it's just. Other than that, no, I can't beat tornadoes and farts. Sorry.
Well, you guys answered my last question already earlier on. So what I'm going to do then is this is a competition, and even though the camaraderie and metal scene is so great, now is your chance to trash talk because it is a competition.
What are you doing with your anime logo? You know who you are. You know who you are. Okay? It's a show that people have seen. You just...
I don't know what he's on about.
Yeah, he beats me.
Yeah, it's covert trash talking.
Oh, okay.
I got nothing.
Nice.
Yeah.
They're. I mean, yeah, Yeg's hooking us up with amps.
Yeah.
So I don't want to stay here because then all of a sudden I'm
You're gonna wait. You're gonna let the stage. You'll do your trash
They'll
talking
have
on
like
the
one of those
stage.
little pocket marshals
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, it'll only have
that mic'd up.
It'll only have a clean channel.
There you go. We'll leave your trash talking to the stage, right? You're gonna let your performance do the trash talking.
Yeah,
I guess
we'll build a guillotine, a Killotine,
Yeah,
or
well,
a guillotine. Yeah.
All right. Well,
I
that's
thought
what
it was
we.
guillotine.
Thanks, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. I can't wait to see you guys. On the 31st. Good luck with that.
thanks for having us.
And we'll look for good luck, I guess is the better way to put it. I mean, I've looked at all the bands, and you guys are all of them. Like you guys are winners for your provincial areas for a reason. So it's going to be an intense competition. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Jen.